Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new Tesla update video. So today, once again, as usual, let's go over Tesla, let's go over the market, because today was quite a wild day actually, believe it or not. Pretty much, I would say today was just full of traps left and right for bulls and bears. So we'll discuss that all together. And as usual, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button. Again, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Make your own decisions, do your own research. But jumping into it, market closing in about 5 minutes. Tesla is ending the day somewhere around this 197 mark, which is up just over 1%, which isn't too bad compared to the market. Definitely an underperformance, not a significant underperformance, but nonetheless kind of evening out for yesterday's outperformance in all honesty. But all that being said and done, pretty wild day. I will say this was an absolutely wild day. I think a lot of people got trapped today, bulls and bears alike. So essentially the main thing that happened was Powell was speaking somewhere around noonish, give or take, to 1 o'clock Eastern, something like that. And that's where the market really was kind of going wild. You can see, right? So if we go on the, like, say 15-minute chart, you can see, I believe somewhere around here is where he started talking, and then it completely crashed, and this was looking exceptionally bearish. I'm sure a lot of bulls maybe exited bullish positions, maybe bears entered bearish positions. Like, I think bulls and bears both got trapped here, and then the market just completely rallied. So absolutely, like, just pretty chaotic stuff happened. You can see even on the 1 hour, right? This is where I had this overall ascending line though, or channel that we are in. You can see that we did go well below. Like, this looked exceptionally bearish, and then the fact that it seemed like maybe it'll do this and then straight back down, right? That's what it seemed like it was gonna do. Clearly, this 1 hour candle completely recovered and went back in the channel, and then even rallied then some. So yeah, pretty wild day. So this is good news though for bulls. This is, in my opinion, at least as of right now, this is actually pretty good news to where I did enter a Tesla call. Now, I only entered a Tesla call because honestly, it's a hedge against my hedge, because I have sold calls, which is a hedge against my shares. And then I just bought calls to almost hedge against the sold calls in case we do rally more, which I definitely think is in the cards. So let me talk about that. So first and foremost, the main thing and the most important thing to pay attention to is, of course, the 200 level, right? Until we break at the very least the 200 level, like this 197 to 200, until that's broken, like, the bullish scenario won't actually play out essentially, right? You really absolutely want to see 200 break, and more importantly, hold, and even better, close a daily candle above it. That is the start. That is what you really want to see as a bull. And however, if we do see that, I actually do strongly believe Tesla actually has a pretty, even from here, I still think the chances of it going up higher above 200 has definitely increased after today's movements. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Tesla go up to maybe 210, even as high as all the way up to close to 220. I don't think it'll get exactly 220, but pretty damn close to 220, right? That will be my price target if 200 is broken. And even from here, again, like I said, the chances of that happening have absolutely increased, mainly because the fact that we fell out of this channel like this and then completely recovered that quickly is a pretty bullish indicator, in my opinion, in this specific instance. Now, I want to make it exceptionally clear though, and this is where the bulls are no longer going to be very happy with what I say, and that is essentially, if we do and come up to this 210, 220, whatever level, somewhere in that general range, if that does happen, I do believe this will be that top. I do think this will be that short to medium term top, and I do believe that we will get a massive rejection from kind of that general area. And I do strongly believe from there, moving into the next few months, maybe like, I don't know, May or something like that, let's say, maybe April, March, anywhere around there, in the next like 2 months roughly, let's say, I do strongly believe Tesla will come back down to the mid 100s at least. I think that's a very strong and very realistic possibility. So just keep that in mind. Even if we do get this rally up here, I still strongly believe it'll be a massive bull trap. Now, like I said, the RSI on the daily is still not looking too shabby. Pretty damn good, actually, if I do say so myself. But as we move on to even the 4 hour chart, you can see it is making a bearish divergence, right? As the stock is going higher, the RSI is absolutely not. And it's even more obvious on the 1 hour. You can see, right, from all the way back here, as the stock is making its way to the top right, essentially, the RSI is making its way to the bottom right? It's a bearish divergence. They're doing the opposite. The stock is making higher highs, while the RSI is making now, as of today, you can see here, essentially lower lows, right? So just keep that in mind. That is extremely important, which to me tells me that, we are approaching a top. Like, it is absolutely on its way here, and it's very, very close. It's just a matter of whether or not we have, room left, if you will, for that one final push before like the true drawdown begins, because it will happen. I promise you that 100%. A lot of people always, they get very bullish, like, there's no reason Tesla will fall. It's just nothing but good news. It's not about news, guys. Short-term movement of the stock does not matter, or it more or less, like, it matters a lot less, let's just say, in relation to the fundamentals of what's happening with the company. The short-term movement is essentially just straight emotions, things happening in the macroeconomics around the world, just traders in general, a huge combination of everything, and probably some, honestly, form of manipulation happening as well, right? Of course, that's just kind of what happens, right? But it's all momentum based, right? So, everyone, whenever we plummet, everyone thinks that's it, it's never going to recover, and whenever you rally, everyone thinks it'll never fall. It happens every single time. It was happening over here, and we had a massive crash. It was happening over here. It happens every single time, and this is just another one of those times. So like I said, I strongly believe Tesla will at the very least come down to about the mid 150s, even if we come up to the 220, let's say 210, 220. So that's just kind of my overall opinion right now, and kind of what I am personally foreseeing as of right now. So looking at some indicators, you can see the 100-day moving average, we are still closing above it, and we are more or less actually bouncing, you can argue, pretty much right off of it, which is a pretty damn good sign, which is why I also strongly believe that, the chances of breaking above 200 and going somewhere up here has absolutely increased based on today's movement. That is a fantastic thing that you want to see. The Bollinger Band, well, we are still approaching the green line. You can see this is extremely expanding right now, so keep that in mind as well. But the Bollinger Band top line right now is actually sitting pretty much at 210. So definitely, I think 210 is absolutely a very realistic possibility of us at the very least going to 210. I definitely think that's absolutely in the cards. Still above the 5 and the 10. So the short-term movement on Tesla is still bullish. And I want to make it also very clear. Even if we reject here, whether we go up to reject here and finally get the quote unquote crash, 210, even 220, whatever the case is, I still believe that the trend for Tesla is going to be up from there. So for instance, let's say we go all the way up to here and then we crash all the way down to somewhere around here. That's still good, man. That's still overall a bullish thing, especially if Tesla breaks 200 first and then comes down. That's even more bullish, because in that situation, Tesla has finally made a higher high. It'll come down here. At that point, honestly, the chances of making a higher low from here, so it's somewhere around, let's say, mid 100s, maybe 120, is increased significantly, in my opinion. And then you're going to be essentially sitting in a position where Tesla just made a higher high and a higher low. Very, very bullish structure. And I think it's going to look fantastic for the remainder of the year. So in my opinion, if this plays out the way I think it is, this situation right here, let's say, for instance, you've missed out on Tesla, you didn't buy or whatever, or you're FOMOing, whatever, I think this will be, in theory, potentially, again, don't quote me on this, just my opinion, of course, but I think this drop after this little rally is done, which I think is very soon, will be like the potential final buying opportunity for Tesla, at these kind of prices, at least for the foreseeable future, for the several next years even potentially. So just keep that in mind. That's kind of what I'm seeing, guys. Let me know what you think down below. If you have any questions or whatever, of course you can write them down below, but that's kind of what I am currently foreseeing. Very similar situation played out with the SPY today. If we go over, let's say, to the daily or to the 2 hour, let's say, same situation happened. We went above, came back into the channel, also crashed below it, and then it got recouped, similar to Tesla, and then now it's arguably breaking out once again. So the VIX is still looking very doo-doo, so the VIX looks like it potentially might actually come down to these levels all the way down at like 17 again. Not looking too hot for VIX, which is good for the market. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing. So, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's looking more and more promising for the bulls to get one final last hoorah up to the potential 220s region before, in my opinion, the correction of this rally finally starts and we go back down to the mid 150s or so. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.